Welcome to The Offensive, the Caleb Williams of podcasting, where we got the tools, we got the talent, and 2 years, we'll actually be good at it. So
Maybe.
Today, let's just talk about the Bears-Browns matchup. The Browns, my friend, who beat a certain team to the north a little bit earlier in the season. You guys watched the game. What are some of the things that you think are pitfalls that the Bears have to try to avoid? How did they beat the Packers, and how can that translate to playing the Bears?
Well, the Browns' run defense is fantastic, and up the middle and on the edges, they're very strong. And I think the Bears are going to struggle struggle is maybe a strong word. The Bears are not going to dominate on the ground in this game. I think there's zero chance of that. I could see the Bears getting 115 to 120 yards. But again, the Bears' yard per rush last week was not great. And the Packers, I thought, did a decent job against them. And I think the Browns will also keep them to a low yard per rush. The key to this is, can Caleb Williams escape Myles Garrett? He's obviously faster than him, but Myles Garrett is just scary, scary, scary. So, I think if Chicago can't run the ball, this could be a really interesting game, Dave. And everybody's favorite son, Sheduer Sanders, has been playing pretty well. So maybe he has a good game against this Bears defense. But I'll leave it to you, Dave. What do you think the keys are for the Bears in this game?
I think you called it out pretty well. The defensive line for the Browns is legit. The draft pick that they got from Michigan is legit. Having the compliment with Myles Garrett. It was funny when the other day when we were texting autocorrect, they actually sent it as Smiles Garrett. Yeah. So in previous seasons, you'd have been smiling looking at this Bears offensive line. I think we're a little bit better, but it's tough to stop a beast like that. The running game, it's going to struggle. It's going to be tight. I think we're going to do a lot of what we did last weekend against Green Bay, and we're going to do a lot of rollouts with Caleb just to try to mitigate
from
Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get the same refs so that way they don't mind watching blatant holding calls. The difference, my friend, is Myles Garrett will still bleep shit up against. Even if you hold him, he's just big. His arms are the size of my waist, and I'm a fat bastard. So I think he'll be able to muscle through those. But yeah, Caleb's quick. This is just going to be tight, but Caleb is going to have to make the plays in this one. Last week, we tried to hide behind our rushing attack. In this one, Ben Johnson, we need Caleb to make 5 plays, I say.
Okay.
To try to keep the chains moving.
So I thought in the Packers game, he had 3 really good plays. And obviously, if he would have thrown that touchdown at the end, that would have been 4. So, but even then, that would have just potentially tied it. 5 would have had to been the 2-point conversion potentially. So I see where you're going there. And I agree with you. When Myles Garrett gets held, he's just like, get off me. Like, he doesn't even care. He's so strong. He is. And I always say this, like, Micah's, a top 3 pass rusher. I think Myles Garrett this year has again proven that he is in a class of his own. And he's just unstoppable. And it doesn't matter. Because, dude, the teams aren't even passing that much against the Browns because they're beating them up so much. You know what I mean? And, he's still just dominating games. So I like your idea of the Bears rolling out Caleb. So Doug, I'm going to unmute you. He was eating. That's how much Doug cares about the Bears. He's just like, I'm going to eat some cereal while you guys are talking. So
Doug, I already know what's going to happen in this game.
Okay. Doug, tell us what's going to happen in this game.
It's you saw the Bears and the Packers play last week. The Packers defense is pretty decent. The Bears defense is better. Or sorry, the Browns defense is better. The Bears are going to struggle. Like, all their strengths on their team, the Browns are built to defend against it. I think it's going to be tough. I think that the Bears are going to struggle in the first half. The other side of it, I don't know if the Browns offense is going to do a whole lot. I think it's going to be a typical Bears game where it's close to the end. And then Caleb Williams and Sheduer Sanders one of them has to make a crazy play, like a big play to get him in a scoring position. And I would say that Caleb Williams is much better at doing that than Sheduer Sanders is. I would just send in blitzes at Sheduer Sanders like crazy because he holds on to the ball. I think it's going to go down to the very end of this game, but it really depends in the first half if the Browns can build a lead with their defense and putting pressure on Caleb, because I think that they can. I don't know if they will, but if they can, I think they might be able to make it hard enough for Caleb to come back. So what I'm going to say in this game, I'm actually going to pick the Cleveland Browns to win this game because I think 9 times out of 10 the Bears win, but I think that Sheduer Sanders is going to do one or two things good at the end of the game, just so people have enough to talk about. And that's just how the NFL is happening this year. Some craziness is going to happen. They're going to be like, Sheduer Sanders is the greatest, and the Bears will like lose the game just barely.
Okay.
Well, this season, part of the whole thing has been the Bears have beaten bad teams, right? And we eke it out at the end. You look at the record, and that's where you can kind of say they kind of fall into that whole class. Do we think now, like we said, cold weather statistically doesn't seem to have an impact as long as there's no precipitation.
Yeah.
And Cleveland, obviously, they're cold weather team, whatnot. They have a running game and whatnot. But if it's going to be at kickoff 5 degrees, real feel of 17 below wind chill.
Whoa!
I think that might have an impact. If I'm a receiver, I was a lineman. Do you guys want to catch anything that's going to be coming at like that and get hit?
Not at negative 17 degrees, even with like gloves on and stuff. That ball's hard as a rock. That ball is harder because it's cold, right? And if there's any like precipitation in the air, it feels like a stone when it hits your fingers, right? It hurts, man. So they got to keep those balls warm on the sideline. Name of your tape. But I
think Sheduer kind of has small hands, though, doesn't he?
I mean,
is it going to be a cold ball? Is it going to be a little bit slippery for him? Is he going to be able to make? Right. Is he going to be able to drive the ball 25, 30 yards down the field? Caleb has small hands too, so
yeah. Well, I think this is a typical Bears game, Dave. If the Bears get 2 turnovers, they'll probably win, right? Yep. If they don't, they'll probably lose. Or if it's a single, like this is the thing, as bad as the Browns offense is, they're 32nd in PFF. Their defense is that good, right?
Oh, yeah.
And yes, they've lost a lot of games, but they've looked better. I'd say the last 6 weeks of the season, they've looked considerably better. They've been in almost every game. They beat the crap out of the Dolphins, right? They beat the crap out of the Jets. So, like, the Packers. They did not beat the crap out of us, first of all. I wish we'd been playing Sheduer, that Joe Flacco offense. No, just kidding. But their defensive line against the Packers had a dominant day. Now, the Bears' offensive line is definitely better, right? The Bears' offensive line is better. So I don't think the Cleveland is going to dominate them. I could still see the Bears getting around 100 yards rushing, but they are going to have to grind that out. They are not going to have explosive runs. The biggest thing in the Packers game we talked about already is the Bears didn't have a single run over 10 yards, and they currently have the most in the NFL runs over 10 yards. So I think if Cleveland can mitigate that running game to keep their explosive runs down, I think Caleb's going to struggle and Sheduer is going to struggle, and it is going to be gross. And it's just going to come down to potentially field goal kickers and turnovers. So I like that Doug picked the Browns. I'm still picking the Bears 13-10 in this one. I think the Bears will pull it out 13-10. Dave, what about you?
I think you're spot on as far as both the score and the spread. I think it's going to be low. It's going to be ugly. If you're an NFL fan, if you love the Ice Bowl, you're going to love this game. If you just want to know, okay, that's a nice little bourbon, I'll just watch something else. Watch something else. It's going to be difficult. There's going to be a lot of punts in this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're going to pull it out in the end. So
yeah, I think the Bears need. I got to say this, Dave. I think after that Packers loss, because dude, the Bears have been so good in the fourth quarter, hanging around. The first half they were terrible, right? And they've done this in a lot of games, Dave, where they don't look great, and then the second half, they're losing to the Raiders, they're losing to the Saints for a little bit, and then they find a way, they pull it back. They didn't quite get it done in Green Bay. Now, again, that's one play, could have changed everything, right? If he doesn't throw that interception. But I think for the Bears' psyche, it's a big deal for them to go win this game because they got Green Bay coming in next week. If they go and lose this game to the Browns, some of the mental gymnastics of that they had riding so high and winning all those close games might start to go the other way.
That's what I'm counting on.
Yeah. So Doug's hoping for that. I'm also hoping for that, but I still think the Bears and Ben Johnson have enough mojo to pull it out. But we'll see, because if Sheduer wins this game, you'll never hear the end of it. So
the Bears are definitely going to make a comeback at the end and have a strong fourth quarter. I just think the Browns are going to win the first half, and it just depends on if the Bears can how far they're down in score.
Okay, Dave, how about this? Since we know the Browns defense is good, and the Bears defense, has its issues, Does Sheduer have a better game than Caleb, but the Bears still win? Or do you think Caleb outplays Sheduer and the Bears win?
God damn it, I hate you.
Sheduer's just a side note. Sheduer Sanders has decent stats, but his QBR is like
pretty bad. Yeah,
terrible.
Neither one of them can hit 59% completion.
No.
Sheduer got lucky with a lot of them where it's like a 60-yard screen pass to the running back. But the Bears only had 23 passing yards before halftime of that Packer game.
Right.
So that's where it's, we did better in the second half. I think yardage-wise, I think Sheduer can do better. I think the Bears are going to get a couple of picks off of him and maybe off of a tip or whatnot. But I think that Caleb won't turn the ball over. Maybe he does one time, but I think we get 2 off of Sheduer. But yeah, I don't think Caleb throws for 150 yards in this one. And this week, Ben Johnson even came out and had to say it's all hands on deck. We need to fix this passing game. That's job number 1 for us. But yeah, I think the number 1 cornerback for the Browns is going to be out, so that should help the Bears. So it won't just be about that defensive line, but yeah. I think Sheduer is going to pass for more, but I think the turnovers are going to win us the game.
Fair enough. Yeah, looking at Sheduer's average time to throw, he actually does decently well when he has time, because even in college, he held the ball too long. That was a big
He's
thing
a deep
about
ball
Sheduer.
thrower.
He holds the ball so long, also Caleb's problem, but like Caleb has kind of fixed that with the offensive line and his ability. Sheduer does not have escapability, but I think if the Bears don't get pressure on him, he's going to have some bad throws, but he's also going to have some good throws that could hurt you guys. So I think
Sheduer never stays in the pocket. His reaction is, okay, he gets the ball, he takes 2 steps back, 1, 2, and then he starts sliding back right away, just like you're playing Madden in football.
Right.
Or, Madden, to where then he can run and scramble. So
yeah, so
Sheduer, when he drops back, then that's going to mean that the ball has to be in the air a little bit longer to complete those passes. And that's what's going to allow us to get those tips.
Yeah, so
the Bears could win by 40 points. Sheduer Sanders might be a completely terrible quarterback.
It's true.
No. We're not going to win by 40, but
I don't think in that weather it's going to be that kind of game.
No.
But Sheduer's got 5 total touchdowns and 6 turnover-worthy plays, even though he's got 3 turnovers. So, again, turnovers are key. If somehow he doesn't get those tips and turnovers, I think they can pull it out. But if you guys get 2 turnovers if you get the Browns to turn it over twice, get a short field, take advantage of that, get some points, I think that's how you guys win the game. But yeah, it's going to be cold. It's going to be ugly. And the Bears, I think, are going to pull it out. So
Bears
negative 58 degrees. I don't know. That's a reference to who's number 58 on the Bears, Dave?
Present squad, I don't know.
Is there any historical player that's 58 on the Bears?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
No, me neither, because they're not that important.